Does your business need a rebrand, or is that rebrand actually distracting you from what you really need to be focusing on? In this episode, we are going to define whether your business needs a rebrand or not, or maybe it's just a marketing refresh or a product refresh. Stay tuned. Queens, your voice is your power. So why are you keeping it locked in the castle? The easiest way to expand your empire and be heard by thousands without running ads for your business? Podcast guesting. And Podmatch makes it ridiculously easy. That's why it's one of the few platforms I personally recommend in my award-winning bestseller, Make Every Podcast Want You, because Podmatch actually gets you booked on quality podcasts. So stop waiting for the invite, grab your mic, claim your stage, and get visible so you can expand your empire. Sign up today at podmatch.com in the link in the description and start spreading your message to the masses. Welcome to the Communication Queens podcast for the visionary leaders, speakers, service providers, and podcasters who are looking to stand out sharing their story. I'm your host, Kimberly Spencer, former screenwriter turned master communications coach. On this podcast, I'll be coaching you on how to share your own transformation story so that you increase your visibility, influence, and income on podcast interviews. Let's get your voice heard. Hey there, I'm Kimberly Spencer, the CEO of Communication Queens Agency, where we help you leverage podcast guesting for lead generation. And in our journey with supporting clients on getting on more podcasts, we have had a few clients that have wanted to go through a rebrand or helping them build their brand from the ground up. And one of the things is I was having a conversation with one of our clients this past week. She didn't want a box. Like, the thing that she feared the most was getting put into a box. She was like, oh my God, don't put me in a box. And I was like, well, unfortunately, kind of with branding, we do need some form of a structure, not necessarily a box, like, because you are a person more than you are a brand, but you do need a little bit of structure so that there is a cohesive visual and storytelling element to how you're showing up. Other than, it can always change. Like, it can always change. But when do you really need a rebrand? And as a high performance business coach for the past 9 years with my company, Crown Yourself, I have seen countless business owners distract themselves with a rebrand because rebrands can feel exciting. Because often they come from this like soul level shift that's happening within you. And sometimes they actually distract you from completing the shift because the next level shift is actually, maybe it's raising your prices, maybe it's making a new offer, maybe it's targeting a new market, but you're like, I'm going to redo my Canva templates. Or I'm going to redo our color patterns, which then I need a whole rebrand for the website. And I need a whole rebrand for, all of the color templates. And I need new fonts and all that. We want to look today on, is your rebrand a distraction or is it actually going to be of service? I totally get wanting to have that fresh brand that resonates with who you are now and who you are becoming. But many founders think they need a rebrand when really they just need a repositioning or a reality check on their offer. It is very common to pour time and money into new logos, new websites, new color palettes, new fonts, when what you really actually need is clarity on who is this new offer for? What urgent problem does this new offer solve? Does this evolve or refine the essence of the brand, or is this just an aesthetic thing? So I was working with one woman who wanted to evolve her brand because she had been working with mostly women and she was getting men coming into her offers and into her audience. And she was a photographer and she wanted to go from just doing boudoir photography for women and go into doing boudoir photography for men as well. And I was like, super cool. But before you dive into like fonts and photo shoots, we want to know, is this a brand evolution Or is this a new brand, which is really what rebranding is? Is this a new brand, or is this just an evolution of your current one? And if it's an evolution, have you also validated the new offer with real human? So for example, I asked her, I said, have you validated
this new offer? Like, are men coming to you saying, I want to do a sexy boudoir photo shoot? Because if so, rock on. It may not be a full rebrand. You just may need to change your messaging from targeting just women to also targeting men and women. So saying that boudoir is not for just women. So before changing the entire brand, have you tested this new direction through conversations, through beta offers, through direct outreach, through your expanded audience? And as a business coach, what I think testing is that testing means that someone has paid you for what you do. Because there's many people who will be like, oh yeah, I'd love to do that, but they aren't willing to put the money down. And I'm like, I don't do the happy money dance as a business owner until the cash is in the bank. Like until someone actually clicks the purchase button and says, yes, I want to work with you. Yes, I value doing this for me. Then that's a sign that there is buyer potential. And in all things, there is buyer potential. But when you're looking at doing a rebrand and retargeting and targeting a new target audience, you want to make sure you have clarity on who that audience is first before you even do the rebrand. And then ask yourself, are you rebranding to attract new clients or to feel more expressed creatively? And if you do a rebrand to attract new clients, will your rebrand actually turn off the existing clients and customers that you have? And this is a way that rebrands can actually end up being a form of self-sabotage, because a lot of times when I see clients do a rebrand or want to do a rebrand, it is because they have something successful going and they're about to hit another level. And so we want to look at both who you want to newly attract and if this rebrand or repositioning will cause you to actually repel those that you are actually already calling in and already have momentum with. Because you want your current audience, the people who are currently buying from you, to understand how a new offer fits into your brand story. If they do understand, if your audience is like, oh my gosh, yeah, boudoir, let's just take the example of this woman of boudoir photography is absolutely for men and women. Great. Then like your audience will be like, cool, rock on. Versus, maybe you just need a refined messaging arc that bridges where you are to where you're going. So working through these steps, are you clear if your business needs a rebrand? Or is your rebrand just a form of self-sabotage to distract you from what's working and doubling down on what's working? Because we have to be aware of entrepreneurial squirrel syndrome and entrepreneurial shiny object syndrome, where suddenly we have something that's working, yay, it's working, and then we pivot and then go on to something else to go drive a new car out to the destination that we're wanting to get to, moving the goalpost, thus basically starting afresh. Look at your marketing, look at your offer, and really ask yourself these questions. Is this new offer really a full-on pivot for your brand, like needing a full rebrand? Or is it actually just an extension of what your current brand is and you're bringing that into your messaging? I hope you love this episode. As always, your story has the power to save at least one life, so go out there and boldly show off your brand in whatever form you have it, and let your story and your brand story be heard. If this episode sparks something in you, imagine what could happen if podcasts everywhere were asking for you. That's exactly what Make Every Podcast Want You helps you to do. And it's not just hype. It is not only a bestseller and 2-time gold medal award winner, Stacklist listed it in New York Times Square as one of the top books to change your life of 2024 for a reason. So if you're ready to become the guest every host dreams of, grab your copy of Make Every Podcast Want You in the link below and make your voice unforgettable.
Thank you so much for listening. If you love this episode, subscribe, leave us a review, and share it with your friends. For more tips on guest podcasting, storytelling, and communication strategies, follow us on social media at Communication Queens Agency and visit us at communicationqueens.com. I look forward to seeing you in the next episode. And in the meantime, remember, your story has the power to save one life. Let your story and your voice be heard.